Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, my name is Nicola Gonzalez, and I'm originally from Guyana. And also, I was actually, yes, I'm from Guyana, and I came to this country like way back, almost 30 years, to this beautiful country named America. So, first off, why I joined this company, WFG, is because I saw what they're always posting on social media. If you're dropping, if you're stocking, you're dropping. So, I was very curious about, things that should we do. I was like, let me check into her DM and see what's going on. Let me DM her a little bit. So I actually reached out to her, and that's when I started in 2022, almost 3 years, I think. Yes, so, and going to convention now was a big deal to me. But it's not the first time I've been to convention. But this one here, every convention is different. You feel a different vibes, a different everything. So, going to this convention in Cali this time, it actually gave me that extra boost, that extra energy, that extra, like everything extra, if you think about good things. So with the convention, I learned a lot about multi-handed, be multi-handed with certain things, and knowing the system, make sure you follow the system, make sure you follow the system, or else you don't go off track if you don't follow the system. And that's what I learned. I was like, what? That's a good idea, because sometimes we go into business and we don't follow the system, and then we wonder why we're not making it, why we're not doing the right thing, why we're not getting there, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you, I want to thank, before that, and also my why. My why always gets me emotional, but I'm trying not to this time, because my why, as much as my children are grown, because I have 4 children, y'all. 4. 4 children, and my why is them. No matter how old they get, trust me, they're still my why.
Yes. Yeah.
Because no matter what, sometimes in life, you don't want to pass away one day or whatever, saying, oh, you know what, something, they're not right, they're not getting those. You don't want them to be out there and get it, like they know the things that I know now. So although they don't want to join the business with me, but I gave them all them a policy, because I have my daughters, them the policy, my son, all of them got, get the policy too. So that's my why, and I just want to thank all you guys for coming on. I thank my Trishana is one of my licensed, she will be a licensed agent soon, coming up. And yes, I appreciate her being here and stuff, so I appreciate you very, very much being here, and I appreciate all you guys being here too. So thank you.
All right, my name is Mickey Dawson, and originally from Ghana. I've been in the country for about 28 years. I've worked in different environments. I used to work in IT for the most part. I worked with Gucci, Louis Vuitton, a number of companies. And in 2018, they decided to divest the IT to a different company. So I worked with them for a little while, and then I decided that, I'm tired. Because they didn't want to increase the pay, but you have to do double the work. So I left the company, been doing different things here and there. Last May, which is May 2024, my sister who does home health, she does living. She called me and said, oh, Mickey, somebody asked me to come listen to a finance talk, but I don't understand these things. Can you come sit in for me and then explain it to me later? So I said, okay, I'll do that. So I went to sit in for her, and I ended up being the recruiter. So I felt that I needed to know more about it, more about the things we were talking about, so I can also explain it to others. So I joined, got my license, been trudging along. I've been to I've been to 2 conventions. The last one was the last weekend. both were amazing setups. I learned a lot. You know, also they drove home a lot of the stuff that's been talked about at Zoom meetings. Paying yourself first is one of the things. Sometimes when they say that, you don't understand what is paying yourself first. It means that when you get paid, you need to put some money aside for your future before you start spending on everything else. Most of the time what we do is we spend all the money, and then if we are lucky there's anything left, then we save that. But we allocate to everything else but ourselves.
Yeah.
We've got to remember that a lot of our life is ahead of us. And so you have to start putting money. If you get paid $10,000 a month, put at least $1,000 aside before you start spending on anything else. And there are ways to let that money work better for you. Yeah, you can put it in the bank, but you know that, oh, I can cut that money tomorrow, but the money doesn't grow. Some people do susu. It doesn't help much. Yes, you put the money away, you don't get any interest on it. It goes to somebody else. You eventually get yours, or you start first and put the money down and start paying everybody else. You know, so that happens. So these are some of the things that they teach that we need to do for ourselves. You know, and also one of the biggest things that I took away from this last convention was when one of the founders of the BFG said that he has put $100 million in a product that will pay generations of his family coming for 360 years is what he mentioned. Think about that. Can you do that, something like that for your family? And those are some of the reasons why I'm fired up with this company. You might not see the fire up in me because I'm not, I don't really express my fired upness too outwardly, but I am fired up, and I hope you'll be fired up too.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yvonne Morgan, and it is well established already who I am. My name is Yvonne. She can't help talking about me, eh?
Wow.
All right, I'm going to talk about you now too.
She is the reason why I'm a teacher. She's the reason why I'm good with selling. She's the reason why I'm good with like networking people. Like we got it all from her, Auntie Yvonne. Okay.
All right, so I grew up in a family doing business.
Yes.
My mom did vending, and from a very young age, I was a vendor. From 6 years old, I was walking, doing business. However, by the time I got to high school, I was the secretary of the School Strip Society, and I was able to pay my own GCE fees. So it was something that I had a passion for, because when I was doing my business, I didn't even want to stop to eat. I just want to make the money. My sisters used to sit down and relax and look, eating again and eating out all the money. And I used to concentrate on saving the money. So every Monday morning I used to carry to school the money, to the spiritual society, and that was it. So I heard Odetta a while back talking about money and stacking coins, but you know what? I was so like not wanting to listen at the same time, because I'm focused on teaching. I've been a teacher for 44 years. This month is my 44th year in teaching, and I was well focused on that. I started all levels, from little ones right up to tertiary education. So, and I think right now, after coming to the convention, and then I came here the first meeting, and she opened the office. When I leave here the first day when I come to the office, I said, this is the way to go now. Because I always want to invest in a large scale, but I never wanted to go in the stock market because I don't like lose. I like to know that I'm always gaining. I don't want to lose. I don't see myself as a loser. So I told myself when I walk out of here before it's there, I'm going to run with this thing. And that's why I'm here. But I went to the convention, first convention, and it was amazing. Then the information that we got was overwhelming. I was like trying to write down. I hear all that saying, "Oh my God, my auntie folded up the book." But you know, the kind of financial education that you're getting here is not the informal financial education you get when you're just doing a business and getting the money. Because I used to do real big business in Guyana. Like buy things on large scale and wholesale and all of that. But this is the real deal, I would say, because it seems like you don't have to work so hard to get money now. The hardest part is getting the clients, right? So I'm going to work with it. I tell myself I'm going to run with it. I'm trying not to burn out because consistency is the key to the game. And you have to tell yourself you have to be committed. You have to tell yourself it's a personal growth you're looking for. And I'm going to do it. But I would like to leave with you a little bit of what I took from the convention. So Johnny said, no sense of direction, no action. Now, a lot of times, you know, children in school, they come in, they're there every day. Some of them say, I just don't want to come. I'm only coming because my mother is sending me. All right. Some now when they have to make a decision to go to which field study they want to engage, and they don't know what they want to do. But they might follow somebody who, their friends them say they're going to do nursing. Oh, I'm going to do nursing. This one said, and so that you have to have that whole sense of direction. But it's okay not to have it when you're young, and then you learn, you grow. That's why children say sign up for one college, and then they switch and they do something else because this isn't the thing that they find that they really want to do, but they just went with it, and so that's fine. Your thinking determines your action. You have to have a positive mindset, a growth mindset. You have to tell yourself there is room for improvement. You don't play down your ability. All right? So he talked about your recruits. So your personal recruits are a limited market. He said your personal recruits are a limited market, which means you might struggle to find a recruit, 2, 3, 4 of them, but your recruit will find somebody else, and so the whole expansion of the business will grow because from your recruits tell another set of people, they bring on the next set, and they will keep, keep multiplying. Because the big team is multiplying, so that's the big team of the convention. Well, I will have to stop because I can go on and on and on and on and on. But this morning, before I left, I sit down and I talk about a quote that I learned for years ago from Walworth Longfellow, and it said, "The heights that great men have reached were not attained by sudden flights, but there while their companions slept, were toiling onwards through the night." And then I sat down and I say, I want to coin my own quote. Okay. I want to coin my own quote based on what I remember from this quote. I said I want to coin my own quote. So this time I was like, so I wrote, the ladder to success is a journey. It is a staircase that is filled with obstacles that can be transformed to success. Keep climbing until you get to the top.
Yes,
That's a hard act to follow. I mean, her personality is big. It's a big but she has a lot of wisdom to share. So I hope everybody took some nuggets on me. I am Sierra Bellamy, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I joined WFG because I was presented an opportunity of a lifetime, I would say. The information that we have to share with you, or the information that you've already heard, we've never heard before. I have 2 degrees, and out of all the years of schooling, I've never been taught what you're about to be taught here today, or what you've already been taught. I have an 8-year-old son. He's my first. I'm waiting for the Lord to bless me with a husband and bless me with some more. But he is my first. David Joseph is his name. So I have somebody to prepare for, for a wonderful future, a better future. Being born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, my family is from Honduras, from Central America, and then I have other family from Barbados and from the West Indies. So I am a girl, I would say, of many hats. So, when you're from Brooklyn, New York, you know how to hustle. So I was a taxi driver in the city, and then I'm a chef. I went to culinary art school, so I'm a chef. And then I sell health and wellness products with a company called Total Life Changes. So I do so many different things, and that's just to name 3. I have so many more. But all of them, you're toiling and you're working, you're putting in hours, and it's only 24 hours within a day, and I'm only one person. So when this opportunity was presented, it was the first time that I saw that passive income was something achievable and attainable. So, I'm moving from the self-employment quadrant into passive income, which is completely different. I work for myself. My catering business has been open for 16 years now, and it's called Sierra's Delicious Delight. So I sell wonderful soul food. So, I have people that say it's the best velvet macaroni and cheese I've ever had, and the best honey barbecue sticky wings, and from state to state, right? But if I don't take in the order, if I don't get into the kitchen, I'm not going to get paid. Well, this business, I can get paid, passively. We can go on the convention. We just came back from on Monday, this past weekend, and still get paid. And not only not only having a financial, I'm sorry, you all, I'm a little nervous, a better future or financial freedom, but I'm able to teach my community the same. And that's the really exciting part. So I'm not just benefiting, but I can also raise up my community around me and say, listen, there's a better way. We can be wealthy. We can be healthy. We can be whole. We can be free. So that's why I joined this business. And we just get it started.
Yes.
Awesome. Liz?
Further ado, I think we have Miss Odetta King that's going to take the stage next.
Guys, I want to bring up, this is why in this business, you just never know, you're all planting seeds, right? And in 2017, when I got into this business, I recruited a girl named Shira. While she was doing her 230, some of you may or may not know, your first promotion in this business, you have to get 3 business partners, 3 clients. Sherry subsequently fell out of the business, but to God be the glory. Guess who said that?
Sherry.
The person that she had me sat with to complete her first promotion.
Wow.
Come on up, Liz. You have me in tears. I can't talk. You just never know who you're blessing in this business.
Yes.
You may help one person, that person bring you to somebody else, that person bring you to somebody else, and it circles right back. Sherry's not here today, but look who's here.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Elizabeth Roman. I am Sherry's cousin. I'm a woman of God as well.
Amen.
I'm going to tell you a few things before I say my prayer. So I am an artist. I'm a music artist, 1 and 2. I'm coming out with a book. It's called Do You Know Who My Father Is? It's a journey with me and Jesus Christ. So I'm going to keep y'all updated. I'm going to give y'all my information at the end. Okay? and we are all beautiful people. Remember that y'all are unique, and y'all have gifts and talents, and y'all need to work it. So I'm also on a platform called Clubhouse. We talk about manifestation, we talk about affirmation, you know what I'm saying? And just want to encourage y'all, whatever y'all going through, don't let the devil remind you of your past. You are who you are because Jesus said who you are. You're beautiful, you're creative, you're amazing. So whoever's telling you stuff, it's not really dumb, it's the evil spirit, you know? So I just want everybody to clap for Jesus. And the devil tried to stop me from getting here, trying to get me lost, but I'm here on time. It's Jesus' time, it's God's time. But I just want to thank Odetta for everything and reconnecting. That was God's will. But I want this, Holy Spirit, I just want to thank you, oh Lord, and invite you right now in everybody's life. We are called to create, we are called to prosper. In Jesus' name. Everybody here in every seat will prosper and gain wealth. We're not going to be poor. We're not. Oh God. Bless them with health. We are all healthy because God said what? With his stripes we are healed, right? And that's what his word said in the Bible. So Jesus, we come to you, oh Lord, and we thank you in advance for this meeting and our future. Thank you, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Johnny Logan. 2018, and I started this business. Oh, let's stop this.
August 2017.
August 2017. So was it a year?
No.
No.
Right. That's crazy, right? I was born for this business.
Yeah.
So, 3 questions. You don't have to answer to me, but to yourself. God forbid, if you get sick today, knock on wood, what do you have in place? If we get sick today, a year, 2 years, we cannot work. What do we have in place to hold us over for 2 years while we battle and fight the disease? Because we're not going to die. But for 2 years, we cannot work. Right? 2 years. Do we think a lot of people have a lot of savings? What's the statistic that if somebody loses their job, how long can their job savings or whatever they've saved up, how long can they hold them for?
6 months.
Right? 3 to 6 months. Some people, not even 3 months. Right? So we're being generous when we say 6 months.
Yeah.
Because if we don't get that paycheck in 1 month, we're already crumbling. We're already crumbling in that 1 month. Things start piling up. Yes, we may have saved up, but now it's being depleted because nothing else is coming in. So if we get sick right now, what do we have? So when we talk about where are the clients, where are the people, they're everywhere. Because nobody's thinking about these things. And even if they're thinking about it, they don't know what to put in place to plan for it. So that's on the sick side. What if we pass away prematurely? Prematurely. Whatever we own right now, all of our assets, are they positioned to go to the right people without probate involved? You know, with the plane crash that happened back to back last week, I wonder how many people who were on that plane, what are their family going through right now? Right? I mean, even when your house burned, you lose documents in your house. And if the person is no longer there to say, hey, go look in the drawer, in the cabinet, go to this bank, how are you? The little that we have is also not even getting to the right person if we pass away prematurely. Right? So think of your own self. Like for me, my biggest why for doing this business is my brother, who's a double amputee, and my mom. If I'm not here and I don't put things in place, they're going to suffer even more on top of just crying because I'm not here. But it's going to have a major effect on them financially because who's helping them? Who's going to help them? Who's going to advocate for them? So what you have right now, God forbid, if you pass away prematurely, is there going to be a smooth transition of everything that you own? And are these people who are going to receive it know what to do to keep it? Because here's another thing. We may pass to the kids and grandkids, but statistics shows in 1 to 2 years they're broke. And that will happen within my own family if I pass away prematurely. If you call my mom and say, hey, mommy, I know you got all of that money. I need some money to go to the market. She's going to be giving away $50,000 just to go to the market. She's going to be giving you $100,000 just to buy a bag. She would give it away because she's a giver. And she don't understand or have financial knowledge. She said, okay, let me do X, Y, Z to keep some of this money. So when I die too, now the grandkids could have some money. There's no education there, right? So the fact that you guys are here, you are that one person for your family. And all it takes is one person, guys. One person in the family to think different. One person in the family to make the sacrifice. One person in the family who want to see change. Yeah. And the rest will follow suit eventually. But first, it's you got to go to front. It's you got to prove them wrong. After 8 years, now my aunt is in the business. If I was waiting for family and friends, I wouldn't be here today. So you gotta fight first and continue, because this is the calling on your life. So I talked about if we get sick, if we pass away prematurely, but now let's talk about the good thing. What if we live long enough? What if we live until age 100? If we live until age 100, or we live beyond whatever age, do we have enough? Do we have enough to hold us over until age 100? So I always used to say I'm going to die rich. You know why? Because I'm going to have more than enough for myself, and there's still going to be left over for somebody else. Now, I don't have any kids, and I'm so big on generational wealth. And it's not just about giving the grandkids, the nieces and nephew money, but I'm already teaching them at their level. You're going to get something, but guess what? You're also going to pass down something. So we're teaching everybody. So for your own self, start thinking about these things. If you pass away prematurely, if you get sick, and what if you live too long? Because nobody wants to die, but are we prepared financially, right? So what our company does, right, Aegon, they're our parent company. They're based in the Netherlands. They've been around almost 200 years. That's a long time. I don't know anybody in here who's over 100 years, right? And then Transamerica is our parent company here in the US. They're based in San Francisco. And WG is a distribution platform. So think of us like an Orbitz, like a Travelocity, like an Amazon. We don't own any products. We just educate families. So when we sit with you, we could scan all the financial tools and products for the best fit for you. Right? You could go on Amazon, you could search anything. Amazon don't own nothing. You could go to Airbnb. Airbnb don't own none of those homes. Uber don't own none of those cars. WFG, we don't own any products. It's a distribution platform that allows us to give people options and educate them. So our core values, God first, always. WG, working for God. Family, we're so big on getting your family in this business. At your job, I don't know, but tell me, do they encourage and promote your family and kids working with you? Right? They don't. You can't even have your husband or your spouse in the same department. Right? But here, family is big. We want your family to come in this business. Ownership. Do we own our job? Right? I could be the dean of NYU, but when I die, that doesn't guarantee my kids are going to inherit my PhD or nothing. But guess what? This business, once you become a senior broker, when I die, the checks don't die. Nope. The checks don't die. This is why I was telling my aunt today, her daughter has to do this business. She may not get it, she may not see it, but I know that is not only going to bless her kids, but her kids' kids. Ownership. We don't own a job. Here, you could own it once you become a senior marketing director. And let's talk about ownership. Some of you may or may not know, Toya passed away prematurely. 40 years old, eating salad, going to the gym, like every day she was posting her gym routine. Suddenly she passed away. Suddenly. It's a shock. Like, what happened? We still don't know. We're waiting on the autopsy. But guess what? She was a senior marketing director. Her mom inherited her book of business. Yes, money's not everything, but money does a lot of things. And we're all going to die someday. And you know what? Because of that, the mom can find the strength to even continue doing this business. Usually when a loved one passes away, you're like, you don't want to see the world. You just want to go in a cave. She was at the convention. Not only was she at the convention, but guess what? She came with her sister and her sister's daughter. Does anybody know what's going on there? She know that one day when she passed, the checks keep going to the daughter, her sister and her sister daughter. 3 of them were on stage.
Yep.
Because she was already the first benefactor of the chain, right? My daughter passed away, I inherited, now I'm here. And even if the daughter, her sister daughter doesn't understand what's going on, because I sat with them when we went to Dominican Republic. The daughter was telling me, I'm just here for the trip, right? Because we do super trips. I'm just here for the trip. So you think she's still saying today, I'm here for the trip?
No.
Mama Miller. Oh, Toya has been in this business for 5 years. Do we think she has a lot of clients in 5 years? She was a senior marketing director. So how do you get to senior marketing director? You gotta have minimum 10 license. So she has done a lot of business. Her team, her 10 license has written business. Clients from wherever. The mom now is inheriting that. And Mama Miller doesn't know anything about going on computer, going on nothing. But when she see you, she will talk to you. And then you're gonna wanna have an appointment to run numbers, and she's gonna put you with somebody in the team to run the numbers and explain more. But she's gonna approach you and say, hey, and she's gonna know what to say to you, right? So ownership is big. And then dreaming. Most people stop dreaming. When you're in this business, and especially when you come to convention, you might be thinking you're doing good. I think I'm doing good. And when I go to convention, I come back home, I'm mad at my surroundings. I'm like, this is poor life. Like, this is petty stuff. It inspires me to dream. It inspires me to not settle. Because if you're doing good in your circle, you're not going to want to strive. But if you hang around millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires, you think your little 200,000-300,000, you on top of the world. I mean, you sit with people who making 15 million and they still going. It makes you dream because it inspires you. This is what convention does to you. So when people say that, how many you've been going to like conventions the whole time? Why do you keep going? You're going to hear the same thing over and over. Well, yes, the same thing over and over, but every year we have new people. Every year we have new success stories. Every year we have new products, new systems, right? And then the integrity. This is a business that does it first right. You need a license, right? Leadership, well, it speaks for itself. We work with some of the best leaders who are selfless. It's not about the commission, it's about the mission first. Teamwork makes the dream work. No man can do it by themselves, right? If you want to go far, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with a team. And then recognition. We recognize people for everything. You get your first client, you get a license. It's a big deal. We're getting ready to, go on a trip in a couple of months. Go to Panama in the fall. That's more recognition. Yes. So, the challenge that we face today is 68% of Americans are not on track to retire. They're they're retiring with 300,000, 400,000. How long is 400,000 going to last you in retirement? Right? So that is due to not having an understanding of how money works and how to make your money work for you. Because if you work for 30 years and you only retire with 400,000 or 500,000, $500,000 or even $1 million in an account that now has to be taxed, how much you get to keep, right? 60% of Americans get diagnosed with an illness, which one of the leading causes is financial stress. Are we stressing because we have a lot of money or a little money? Not enough, right? So here we teach people how to build a solid financial foundation and protect your family, health, and money. So if something happens to your health, you have the money or the tool to fight the disease and stay home for however long you need to, because you put strategies in place. 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Number one, most people only have one paycheck, their job. And if they have a second paycheck, it's another job. So really and truly, we're trading our time. So we're working harder, we're tired, because now we're running from one job to the next, but we're still broke, right? So it's not about just having another job, it's about having a business that's gonna give you passive income. That whether you show up or not, you're gonna make money. 84% of people say they wanna work somewhere where it truly matters. We know a lot of people are just going to a job because it's a paycheck. They don't care about it. So they messing up and they giving you the wrong information and they're just there to collect a paycheck, right? But change is possible. Here in WFG, we believe in financial education. We're gonna teach you how money works so you can know what to do with your money. A lot of us, we depend on the government, we depend on people to know what's going on with our money. No. Let's put ourselves in a position to learn about money. So, there's 3 rules. The first rule is, because I have, you know what? I'm going to skip it because I did the PowerPoint. The first rule of money deals with compound interest. The rule is 72, which pretty much shows us how many years it's going to take for your money to calculate. We got to put our money in accounts where your money is going to double and grow. The second rule is taxes. There's different places you can put your money. If you put your money in a tax now account, these are accounts like the bank, right? You get paid at your job, you put the money in the bank, it gets taxed because you're gonna have capital gain if you made any interest. The second place that you can put your money with taxes is all of us, you get a job that might give you a 401k, 403b, IRA. Those things are good. But now let's understand the implications. When you and I are ready to take money out, right, now we're going to pay the tax. So why is that a problem? When you're putting the money in, right, and you're building up, in the beginning you have a little money. But the goal is to have a lot of money in the end. So now you have a lot of money in the end, which is a good thing. The bigger question is how much you get to keep. Because you worked for 30 years and you put away your 500, 1,000, and you get it all the way up to $1 million, and you still don't know how much you get to keep because of taxes, because of stock market risk, how much you get to keep. Nobody is even telling you this. Nobody's even saying, well, okay, I know I'm growing this, but how much am I going to get to keep when I'm 65? And because nobody knows this is where we have an opportunity to start challenging their thinking. Okay, that's good, you got $1 million in your 401k, but how much you gonna get to keep of this $1 million? You don't know, I don't know. Because that's how those accounts are set up. And then the third place is tax-free. Well, tax-free is tax-free. You're already winning just putting your money in a tax-free account. Because if you go right down to the dollar store, instead of paying $1.09, you're only paying $1. The guy said, don't worry with the taxes. It's now that 9 cents, you just save or you keep it. So tax-free money means more money. So if you have money in accounts like a Roth, a 529, or cash value life insurance, all of the money in those accounts is tax-free. So what you see is what you're gonna get, right? And then let's talk about our investment. Everybody wants to invest, but they don't even understand how to invest. We're just throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping and praying that it's gonna grow. And yes, it does grow. But is it gonna be there when you're ready for it? It's gonna grow, but is it gonna be there when you're ready for it? Because there's people who are in retirement still losing money because of where their money is. I have a guy right now, we're moving $177,000, and before, his account had showed 2 and change. So he went down from 2 and change to now I'm hoping that his paperwork go through fast so we could get that 177 before it goes down again. He's in retirement, right? So the investment portion is so important. As we're growing it, we got to protect it. And most people are good at growing it, but is it being protected as it's growing? Most people are not. So here we're going to teach you, you got to save money. Yes, everybody needs to save money, minimum 10%. Start with 10%. Let everybody else get all your money, because that's what we're doing. We're giving away the 90%. We're When you really think about it, it's like, that's nothing. I'm working to just pay everybody else except me. Minimum 10%, minimum, right? So let's say you're making $60,000 a year. If you put aside 10% of that, that's about $500 a month. You do that consistently and you put it in an account where it's going to grow. You don't have to worry about losing, and you don't have to worry about paying taxes. So now when you're 65 or whatever age, you could pull all of that money out tax-free. So if you're doing this in an account earning 8%, that's almost $800,000. Guys, if we knew this, right, these are the amounts we could be having. Almost 800,000 at 8%, right? Now some people may have 745,000 in an account, but again, how much you get to keep if you got to pay tax on this 745, right? Or let's say you put it in an account earning 10% average, you got over $1 million. And if you have it in the right account, it's $1 million. But if you have it in other accounts, it's not $1 million because you got to pay taxes, right? So the gap is widening, y'all. I mean, we hear it all the time. The rich is getting richer, and the poor is getting poorer. Well, it starts with financial education. So yes, they got money, but they have the education to know what to do with this money, and they think different. Do we think a lot of millionaires became millionaires because of a job or a business?
Business.
A business. So the answer is not to look for a part-time job. The answer is to look for a part-time business, right? So you see that purple line at the bottom, that little bitty purple line? That is 90% of the population, how much wealth they own. Nothing. And you see the 1%, that little bitty 1% at the top? They controlled all the wealth. They didn't do it by a job. So as the gap is getting wider, that's a problem. Because if you and I are not even winning, what's going to happen to our kids and grandkids? Right? It's like we're almost setting them up for failure by default. Right? So the goal is learn what the wealthy are doing. Learn what the wealthy are doing. This is why when I heard about this opportunity, I used to always wonder, like, how are the wealthy getting wealthy? What are they doing that I don't know? You're going to learn that in this business. You're going to learn the strategies, right? And also the mindset. Because if we stay in our mindset, we're not going to get there, right? And this is why I love this business. So we live in one of the top countries in the world that has the most millionaires. 21 million millionaires. So we are set up already to be millionaires because we're in the right place. We're already in the right place. That's the first check that we could win. If you're living in Guyana, I don't know. If you're living in Honduras, I don't know. Like those countries are not even on this list, right? So yes, it's not really set up for you to win. But the first thing is we're in the right country. That's a blessing right there already. We're in the right country. 21 million millionaires in the world comes from the USA. So the opportunity is there. Some countries you don't have an opportunity to become a millionaire. So the idea is you want to move from just not only trading your time for dollars, because we know a job is not going to do it. Single-handed is you putting in your time for money. You have a job, you're trading your time for money. Some of us will live more sophisticated, we open a business. Now, you're still trading your time for money. Because if you don't open that hair salon, if you don't cut hair, if you don't style the hair, if you're a doctor and you don't see patients, or maybe you go on vacation, well, if you don't see patients, unless you own the practice, but do we just come out of grad school and own the practice? No. Right? So even doctors that may be doing well, their mindset too has to shift. from also owning the practice at some point and having other doctors in their practice. Otherwise, you could be the doctor, work all your life, and you make money, but you can't even enjoy it because you're always working. But if you own the practice and you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 doctors, you ain't working so hard. Whether you show up and see a patient or not, you're gonna make money, right? So now we want to be on the multi-handed side, which is a business, but not just any business. So this is where WG is, it really has you thinking different. A lot of people say, oh, I'll start a business. But now with what I know, you want a business with a system. Now, whether you work or not, whether you show up or not, whether you go to Guyana and spend a month or not, whether you go to Jamaica and spend a month or not, you're going to make money because this business has a system. And the other box in the multi-handed is becoming an investor. So yeah, everybody wants to invest, but if they don't know how investment works, they're going to make some money, they're going to lose some money. They're going to make some money, they're going to lose some money. But how about making the money and keeping the money and growing the money and never losing, right? So the goal is to be on this side of the quadrant, multi-handed. You have a business with a system, not just any business. I get a lot of business owners that come in here and they're like, oh, I'm already doing good, I got a business. Okay, but if you don't file taxes, how you making money? You own the tax practice, but it's you alone doing the taxes. Or you own a hair salon, but it's you alone doing the hair, right? Or you own a beauty supply store, but if you don't open your store or it's snow, you ain't selling nothing, right? Or maybe you have a sales assistant or you have 2 people selling with you, but, right? So our company, right, has a franchise model. The person who owns McDonald's, whether he show up or not, the burgers are still flipping, the fries are still selling. Same thing with WG, it's a franchise model. And we're in the top industry, financial services, $109 trillion industry. There's money in the money business. A lot of people think real estate. Yeah, but real estate is not the number one. And for you to have real estate, you gotta have good money to put down as capital or for the down payment. Your credit gotta be good to get that mortgage, to get that loan. And then some people don't even want to be a homeowner or they don't want to deal with their headache, right? Here, you ain't got to put out all that capital. We just came off a training and some people may have a lot of real estate, but they don't have cash. They don't have access to liquid. They have a lot of equity in their house, and anybody who owns a house could maybe know that they know the process. How is it to get the equity out your house, right? And we work with a model that's broker and agent. So just like a real estate, you're the brokerage firm for the real estate firm. Whether you go out and sell a house or rent a house or not, you're gonna make money. So this business has a franchise model, we're in the top industry, and a brokerage setup. Money. Well, this is why I got into this business once I started realizing that this is information that people don't know. The more people I help, the more money I make. The more people you help, the more money you'll make. So when we start, everybody starts at a training associate. Let's say you help a client save $500. $500. Now that person is already saving money. But guess what are some of the places they might be saving the money in?
The bank.
The bank?
Yeah. Underneath the mattress.
Underneath the mattress.
A susu.
A susu. Especially West Indians, we love susu. Right? Now are those accounts going to give them 8% growth?
No.
If they drop dead and all they did with the susu, they put $1,000, what is their family debt? Right? If they get sick along the way and their susu was like 10,000 or 8,000 and they get sick, well, that's what they get. So there's no leverage. Now, if you take that same 500 and you put it in an account, earning 8% average, is giving you coverage for your entire life, And there's also a living benefit component that will pay you if you get sick. We don't plan on getting sick, we don't plan on dying soon, but the same $500 that you would have put in the bank and the SUSU, wherever, now is going to give you more leverage when you put it in this type of account. So you're still saving, you're just now going to save smart and you're getting more bang for your buck. Because we're saving, but we're not saving smart. We want to get more bang for our buck. So when I first started and I saw this, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because I love saving money. And I'm putting money in my 401k, my IRA, money in the bank, and I thought I was doing good because back then the bank was giving 1%. The banks are not even giving 1% now. But back then I was getting 1%. And I was thinking,
0.75, yeah.
huh?
0.75.
It's still 0 points, yeah. So guess what? When you put that same, let's say $100, you put $100 in the bank, it will never, ever, ever gain no type of interest that will set you free. So true story, we had a lady, one of my colleagues helped her, and she's like, oh, you know what, I'm putting $1,000 in the SUSU, I can't find money to do nothing else, I'm good. My business partner pleaded with her, tried to tell her, listen, just, once you finish this SUSU, or let's look at other ways how you could find money to put in this account. She said she got too much going on right now, she can't do it. 6 months later, she got ill. 6 months. Had she taken even $500 and put it in an account, she would have been covered and she would have had some money, because now she got diagnosed with an illness. Instead of having $8,000 in the SUSU, she could have had access to $500,000. She got sick. Now you can't even get this stuff because you're diagnosed, right? So everybody needs to be covered just in case we get sick, even not in the near future, in the future, or when we're 99 and about to die, right? The health part. I sit with a lot of clients who have money, but they never had anything for when they get sick or when they get older. Where's going to be the money to pay for these things? You know what they tell me? The government. Well, if you own a house in America, you got more than $2,000 in the bank, you ain't getting nothing from the government. And even if you were planning on getting something with the government, why would you want to depend on the government? Yeah, have your own stuff just in case, right? So, because we see what's going on with the government. Is the government for the people?
No.
So why would we ever think, even if this wasn't going on, why would we ever put our future in the hands of the government? Even if the government, let's say, is a good political party in the future, why would you want to put your future in the hands of the government? Are you going to have any control?
No.
No. You're giving up control. So someone starting with us, your first 30 days, you're a training associate. The goal is to get your license fast, because no license, we can't help anybody. You can't even you can't help nobody with this information, right? The goal is to get your license by the time you're an associate, so you would have some experience, you would have seen the presentation a couple of times, you would have seen firsthand how this information is going to help people. But you first become a client, so you could get protected first, so you could be set up first. So when I first saw this opportunity, I just wanted to hurry and save money for myself first. Forget everybody else. What about me? Let me start saving for myself to get this 8%. Right? So now if you're an associate at 45%, again, let's say this client is saving $500 a month, right? That's $6,000 a year. $2,700 is what you can make part-time in this business. How long do we have to work at our job to get $2,700?
A few weeks.
Right? For sure, at least 1 week. 40 hours.
2 weeks.
Right? 2 weeks. Right? Here, you can make this in 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yep.
And the client don't even have to be in If they're in New York, they come into the office or we go to their house. If they're outside of New York, we jump on a Zoom. I can help anybody in any part of the state. Nevada, Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio, wherever. You're not limited to only New York. So you have more access to more people, especially with social media.
So that is in any state?
I just
All
got my
states.
Texas license this week. Another state.
And you have to get a license for wherever?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you study for your New York license because that's where you reside. But once you get your New York license, you could help people from any other state. You just have to go buy the license for that other state.
You don't have to take a test.
No more
You don't have
tests.
to do the test again.
No more
Just
tests.
pay for it.
One
I
time.
know that's what you studying. Don't worry, no more tests.
No more tests.
The test is for your resident license, your resident state. After that, but you don't go buy a license unless you know you have a client in those states. Then you go buy a non-resident license, and those licenses, all licenses are good for 2 years. So you're not going to just go buy a license for buying state. If you're talking to a person who has interest and they want a product, and they live in New Jersey or they live in Ohio or Texas or wherever, then after we finish doing the presentation, they said, yes, I like it, let's go. We do the intake. We go on the state website for whichever state it is, and we purchase our license. But guess what? The license is pennies compared to how much you're going to make and the family that you're going to help. Pennies. And the license is good for 2 years. So when I first started this business, my very good friend, where was she? Indiana? Yeah, Indiana. Right? She lived in Indiana, I'm in New York. This girl is a business owner. She has a pharmaceutical business. At the time, she was making $80,000 a month. $80,000 a month. That was 7 years ago. $80,000 a month right now is a lot of money, right? $80,000 a month because she has a business. So when I did the presentation to her, not me, but me and my trainer at the time, because I had just started the business, and she said, as a business owner, she gets it right away. Tax-free, protection, nobody can sue me and get this thing. At least they could sue me and get other stuff, but they can't sue me and get this account. Immediately she says, yes, I wanted it. We secured the deal. Not only we got her mother, and we got her daughter. So then I went on the website and I purchased a non-resident license for the state of Indiana. And now because I have that license for 2 years, you think I'm going to try to find more people in Indiana?
Absolutely.
Girl, who are some of your clients? Who are some of your friends? Which church you go to? What school your daughter going to? I'm looking for more people in Indiana now because I got a license for 2 years. So I'm going to start expanding and looking for more people in Indiana because the license is for 2 years. And even if I never make another sale, just offer her 3 policies alone, but the Indiana license at the time was like $80. You think I made $80 or $100 or $200 or $500? I made thousands of dollars off of those 3 policies. So even if I had never written another, but I don't think like that. Now that I have a license for 2 years, I'm going to go find more people in that state. All right? So, marketing director, right now, anybody that starts with us, they could become a marketing director in 2 months. Just 2 months. February and March, and by April, they're marketing director. Marketing director is a junior broker position, right? So the same time, let's say again, $500. Guys, you see what's going on? The same effort that you're putting in, the higher up you go, you get paid more. So the goal is not to stay at training associate or associate. The goal is to go up. Because you're still going to do the same work. And the higher up you go, guess what? You get more experience. So it gets easier. So now my time as a senior marketing director helping somebody save $500 a month, I make $4,800. Y'all see why I'm fired up all the time? Y'all see why I'm excited all the time? Y'all see why I'm always ready to work, always ready to go to convention, always ready to learn? Because the more I learn, the more I'm going to earn. And I can help families because I know more and I can impact them more. Right? But where would I ever make these amounts, even as an associate or a trainee? So which job will pay me $1,800 for 3 hours of my time, even if I'm on the low level end of the stick? Training associate, TA, 30%. Which job will pay me $1,800 for 3 hours of my time. Do we think doctors get paid? Maybe doctors, I don't know. Right? But even if they do, guess what? They're working harder for that $1,800.
Yeah.
They're working harder. I'm on a Zoom for 3 hours. And because I have a business, at the end of the year, I get a tax deduction. So the job, there's no tax deduction. It's not a business. Right? So, once you're a senior marketing director, let's say you and 5 of your agents are helping families, you could make about $31,000 a month. Guys, I would never ever thought that people could make this type of money. In WFG, it's ridiculous. Like, once we start showing people cash flow, like, some people say this is a fraud, this is a scam. Well, it can't be, because number one, you need a license. You need to pass a background check, you need to do fingerprint. The state gives you the license, right? So, would you rather shrink your dreams to fit your income or increase your income to fit your dreams? Well, most people, they're just settling. They say, hey, I'm doing good, I'm making 6 figures, I got a house, I got a car, I'm doing good. But the goal is to increase your income and expand your dreams. So life is all about choices, right? We could decide, keep doing what we're doing, or we could change our thinking and have a brighter future. We're doing good. We are doing good, but we could be doing better. So number one, why this opportunity? Because it's going to give you freedom. It's going to give us all freedom. We're working smarter, right? And whether you work or not, you could get paid. I got paid this week and I didn't write no policies. I don't even know who it's for. I can know who it's for once I go to my back office and look at the details, right? But increase your knowledge and build multiple sources of income. I will never get another job. I mean, I teach it. I will never get another job. Now that I know this thing, I'm like a runaway slave. If you're a slave, right, and you work in the field, you're going to be disgruntled. But when you're a slave and you work in the master's house and you're eating a nice food, you're wearing nicer clothes, you think you arrived. You think you're good. But when you get your freedom, now you realize, wait, I could have
Go to history, girl.
I could have my own house. Why am I getting
Go to history.
So for me, having this business is like, I'm free.
Yeah.
I'm free. Like I was good in corporate America, but I'm truly free here.
Yes.
This business really sets you free.
Yes, it does.
Right? You have freedom and you can make unlimited income. So again, going back to the slave mentality, you in the house, you think you're good because you're eating good food. But you still got to wait for them to tell you to go eat. How about you go eat where you want to eat? How about you go buy what you want to buy? Go when you want to go. Leave when you want to leave. You can't do that in the master's house. You got to go and come when they tell you to go and come. You got to eat when they tell you to eat. Even though you're in the house. Right? So this business is going to break all barriers from a freedom standpoint. You ain't got to ask no job when you want to go on vacation or when you want to go on a trip. Just go. How many people at your job you got to put in like vacation time like a long time in advance? And then you got to hope and pray they say yes. Seniority, right?
And why you give you many things?
You can't even make plans because you waited and prayed and they approve your vacation.
Seniority. The same set of people get the same seniority every year.
Yeah.
And you will never get a Christmas off. I'll never get this off because the same people taking it every year.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that. That's why I'm free. Thank you, Jesus. I don't have no function job either. Thank you.
Right? And then flexibility, starting a business in financial education. We don't sell, guys. This business is perfect for people who like helping and who like teaching. We're educating, we're teaching people. They don't know. School is not going to teach you this. I'm in the education system. We don't teach this. They're not going to learn this. So for us, we're educators. We're educating family when it comes to their personal money. Right? And then you have a lifestyle, right? Enjoy the benefits of building in an organization that's, in many cities and an opportunity to travel the world. Guys, my mom is still talking about Puerto Rico. My mom is still talking about Mexico.
She fired up.
My mom is still talking about, guys, look, we went to Israel, where we got to be in the Church of Jesus Christ. We bought the oil, the olive oil, like the experience that we got. Even if I had gone to Israel by myself, I probably wouldn't have gone to those places. She still talks about those things. Like my mom got a passport because of WFG. My mom traveled out of the country because of WFG. She went to Jamaica because of WFG. If she was to wait on my other siblings, they ain't going nowhere. even if I was not in WFG and I was going by myself, maybe I wouldn't have taken her because I got to work with my salary budget. My salary isn't really doing all this grandest thing for me, mommy, and somebody else, right? So here, because you're going to make more money and because you're going to get exposed to these trips, you could bring your family. I want you to bring your family. The super trip that's going to happen in Panama, I'm not going alone.
No.
She looks forward to the trip just like bring your kids. Because also when they come and they see this, they understand why you're doing what you're doing. Now they're going to be your ally. Now they're going to say, hey, mom, you got to talk to them. One of our business partner, when she goes to the grocery store with her daughter's like 7. She's like, Mom, you'll go talk to that person. Because they see how it has changed. So they bring people, like they talk to their friends and say, hey, you got to talk to my mom. So when they come on those trips, you just got to bring them one time. They're going to want to come every time, right? And then the purpose, again, is to educate families, right? We don't sell, we educate. This is nothing to sell. It's a no-brainer. You're just showing people where to save their money, where to never lose their money, where to grow it, protect, and keep all of it. Who's going to say, no, I don't want to save. No, I want to lose money. No, I don't care when I get sick, whatever happened. Or when I die. Some people will say, when I die, I don't care what's going to happen. But what about when you're alive and you get sick? When you're alive and you get sick, you're still not going to care? Right. Nobody's going to say, I don't care when I get sick. Whatever happened, happened. So we're educating families and showing them strategies to put in place for themselves. And for the ones that have kids, guess what? Their kids could become millionaires because they have more time. My little cousin, 4-year-old, like this guy's, his lifestyle is going to be so much more different than us. Because number one, he's born in this country. I'm not born here, right? He's born here on T-Bond. And with what we're doing, his future's set. He doesn't even know it. We're like the black Jews, right? So this is what we want to put people in a position to do for themselves and their families.
Someone say invest in properties. The return is greater. You think that?
No.
Invest in properties is
Not
good.
nowadays, no.
So we can build together a future, right? So your choices are, you can decide, you know what, this sounds great or better. I want to learn more about the financial piece. I want to become a client. I want to see what I could do for my own self. You know, if I pass away prematurely right now, what's going to happen to all my assets? If I get sick right now, let's say I own properties. Well, is your kids going to get that property? Because guess what? If they can't take it over, guess who's taking it over? The government and the bank. Because you still got a mortgage on it. Most people haven't paid off their mortgage. And because we don't know this information, we're not going to pay it off either. Because we think because the bank gave you 30 years, you got to take 30 years. Oh, no, my dear, you ain't got to take 30 years. You want to knock it down sooner. Why would you stay 30 years and come from interest and give all the interest to the bank? When you could put that interest to yourself by paying it off quicker. Guys, just by paying one extra mortgage payment per year will set you off 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
One mortgage payment. Send them one mortgage payment every year. But we don't know this. We got a 30-year mortgage, and if the mortgage is $2,000, we just send $2,000. Why are we only sending $2,000? What? We want to stay in debt for 30 years?
Yes. Some people feel that they have the whole life to pay it off.
Right?
Right?
They have the whole life to pay it off. But
Just let me interject. 1 minute, everybody. If you have a mentality not to pay interest, you would not choose to go that way. You will always want to know I always want to know if I'm buying something for $5 and you tell me it's $5 I'm paying for it, I don't intend to pay one dime more than $5. Because that is the cost I have in my mind. And if I have to pay the money, I just need to pay just what I was told. That is the cost. I don't want to know it add up to $10, $20, $100. So that is why I am telling you, my financial orientation, I have a credit card, but I have never paid a part payment. If I know I accumulate $4,000 there, I pay my $4,000 because I know this is what I set my mind to. I'm not going to pay less. I never paid $25, $100, $50. That is me because I am not an interest freak.
Yeah, and when you do that, you're the one keeping more money in your pocket because if not, you're giving them extra money. You're giving them the compound interest. You're giving them interest. Instead of you paying $5, now you're paying $6 and $7. That extra $2 could have come in your pocket. And you do that for 30 years, they made a lot of money off of you. So some people say, oh, I'm not in a hurry to pay off my house. But here's the other part. Because I know somebody right now, he's in Guyana, he got diagnosed stroke. He's in a vegetative state. He paid mortgage for 20 years. And he lost the house. 20 years. Once he got sick, he stopped paying the mortgage. A good 5, 6, 7 years went by, no mortgage, because you're sick. When it was more than him, he said, you know what, instead of me losing this stuff, let me just sell it and get something. How much did he get? Not a lot. Right. So once I found out that story, I said, you know what, I'm going to encourage people to pay off their house, because 30 years is a long time. Something can happen to your health in 30 years. Or if you pass away prematurely, because my cousin passed away prematurely. She fought cancer for 5 years. And my 3 cousins, all under the age of 21, when she passed away, you think those kids in that house today?
Sell it out.
The bank took it because she got a mortgage. So now these 3 kids living with family members. So if they teach us to pay it off, who's benefiting? You or the bank? Not only you benefiting, but you're putting yourself to win the money again. Because if you pass away prematurely, your family get the house free and clear. They ain't got to move out the house. If you get sick within 30 years, guess what? Now you have, because you have the right plan in place, and because you educated yourself, even if you got sick, you ain't gonna be stressing, oh God, I gotta pay this mortgage and it adding up, 3, 4, 5 years, adding up. No, now you double stress. You stress because of the illness, and now you stress because the bill's adding up, and you might lose this house because the bank don't care if you got cancer. The bank don't care if you got stroke. They still looking for their mortgage payment every month. So why are we gonna delay? But if we know this information, we can make more money, send that extra mortgage payment, put accounts in place that mitigate any risk, health-wise or premature debt. So if somebody got $3 million and their property is worth $500,000 and they pass away prematurely, is a house at stake? If somebody got $3 million, they're insured for $3 million. Their house mortgage balance is $500,000. Are they going to be worried? No. Because guess what? That $3 million, we're going to take 5, we're going to pay off the bank, and we get to keep the house free and clear. But if you don't have this protection in place, and you think, you know, I'm just going to send my $2,000, and now you get sick, and you pass it prematurely, your family gets a double blow. They're crying over you, and they're crying because they got to pack out and move out the house. Where they going now, mommy, dad? Where we going? You going back auntie? We going back granny? Where we going? Who taking in who right now? Who's taking in who? Even if you have extra, who's taking in who? You coming with problems. Yeah, they might take you in, but for how long? For how long they're going to take you in? And if you got kids, and every minute they go in the fridge and eating up the food, they'll start arguing. You know, the food, you don't got no money.
Must have
More
problems.
problems start adding up in the house. But what if you have these plans in place? You just stay right in the house. Send the check, send the bank that 500,000, they happy, and you happy.
Right.
And you go to the cemetery and thank mommy for doing what she did because mommy stay in the house and mommy thank you for taking out whatever because we got 2 million for holding me over for a very long time. Right? People don't know this stuff, guys. This is what we're going to educate families with. Show them a different way because they're not going to think about this. They're not. Nobody's going to think about this. But as we speak, God, but I tell my mom and dad all the time, if something happened to me, y'all not going to cry for long. They're not going to cry for long. They never made $1 million in their lifetime. They will not make $1 million at their age, but they're going to get more than $1 million. Because I put things in place. Right? I put things in place. So, we could decide we want to be a client or we could do the business. Right? To do the business is $125 and then $30 for the study course and start studying. It's multiple choice, guys. It's watching videos and doing multiple choice. You get your license in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, and then you put yourself in a position to start helping families, and by default, you're helping yourself, so it's a win-win. You helping people and you helping yourself, and because now you know about these things, you put these things in place for your own self. Let's not be selfish, right? And with that being said, that is my presentation, and we have a convention coming up in, where is it? We have a convention coming up in April that I want to invite all of you to be part of, and it's a video. Even if you're like undecided, you're still not sure about doing the business, at least become a member and have access to this information. Okay, I'm not sure why I can't seem to get it to play.
Is your Wi-Fi on?
Yeah, 'cause I'm on the internet.
Oh, it's a sign in the for lucky that room box.
Alright, so I may not be able